Hey guys, this is Brent for the Gaming Solo channel. I'm going to do a review on the MacBook Pro 2018 model. Oh gosh, are you sure you want to exit? No, I don't want to exit. I want to minimize. Silly left hand stuff. This is the 2018 revision. It has my model has the 512 hard drive. It's got a 200 when it was 200. I was about to say 256 bit. No, it has the Radeon 560X, and it's a 4 gig card. It's the base top line, basically. So if you go into the Apple Store, you go to the base top line, and you select that. You don't add anything special to it. That's what I got. 16 gigs of RAM. The funny thing is if you open up the About This Mac, it's going to show you if you have it hooked up to no battery or no power, you're running off battery, or you're not doing anything intensive, it's going to show you that you don't have the Radeon, and that's a setting to save battery. If you're not doing anything graphics intensive, it's going to automatically shut that off. Now I'm doing this on OBS because I can't video myself, and it's 11:30 at night. My wife, who usually does the videos of me doing things on computers, is asleep. And I wanted to get this video out because I wanted to I just wanted to get it out there. It's a pretty solid machine. Wanted to get the review out there from a perspective of a PC person. I've not owned a Mac for about 10 years, give or take, unless you include the 2012 MacBook Air that I picked up a little earlier this year to make sure that I could manage this system again, and do things on this system that I needed to. So I'm using OBS, of course. We'll talk about that a little bit later. That's a very popular system for Windows, for gamers and streamers, and for screen capture and stuff like that. You can see down here in my tray I got some games, and if you follow my channel, you'll know that I did a Can It Game video for League of Legends, or not League of Legends, for Guild Wars 2, and also a game in Steam called Chivalry Medieval Warfare. It's a pretty funny game, pretty fun, but in both instances, neither of them were that fun because they didn't look that good. And I definitely want to touch on that because this is a capable machine, despite the thermal throttling and things that people have seen due to the small chassis. Unfortunately, that is a problem across the board for systems that want to be this small and put in that much power under the hood. I'm only running the i7. I mentioned this, the base model. This is the i7 model. I didn't feel the need for an i9 because of the thermal throttling. I can speak at 11:30 at night, I promise. But with the thermal throttling, I didn't want to bottleneck myself, because the i7 is going to do fine for what I'm doing anyway. But as far as gaming goes, it actually does okay. In the video you saw, I had to crank down the graphics and do some corner cutting in order to make it work and stream. But what I believe is going on is the OBS program is probably not optimized 100% for Mac, or something of that nature. There's something going on there. When OBS is up, the games all run like crap. When it's not up, I can run them decently. They're not perfect. I mean, it is a Radeon 560X. It's not the best card in the world. It's not like I bought an MSI gaming computer or an Asus gaming computer with a 1070 in it. This is a MacBook Pro, and it does different things than a gaming computer would do. I still enjoy putting some games on there for when I have some free time, but it's not going to perform like a gaming laptop. The screen is great. I turn True Tone off just because it's a little weird there. I have it on my phone. I like it a lot on my phone. I do have an iPhone X or 10, however you want to say it, but I do like it there. So just to show a few things, I would show you the system just to show that I really do have this MacBook Pro. But it has the serial number, and I see people black that out all the time. I'm just not going to throw it up there. If you're not familiar with Mac, you got a tray down here that you can customize with things that you want to use all the time, including your messages. So I can be working and I'll get an iMessage from my wife, and I can respond without having to get my phone out. I can just click over to that screen, respond, and life is good. The games, League of Legends plays pretty well on this actually. And here's the storm I know is going to play well because I put that game on that 2012 MacBook Air that I picked up just for fun, and it played it. Now it was low settings, but it played it and it was playable, and I got my butt kicked because I have not played that game in a while. As far as everything else, battery, I'm running this on battery now, and it was running. I did a soft take on it, and it was 100%. It popped down to 99% a little earlier in this take. The battery is incredible unless you're doing something intensive, and then of course when that processor picks up and starts spinning, and the fans spin to try to keep it cool, and things are going crazy, it plummets really, really fast, which is normal, and it's going to plummet faster than normal now because I'm running OBS, which is apparently a resource hog because it kills my games. So you can see here it's only using 10-11% of my CPU, but I guess there's some graphics card use going on there too or something. Something's not right, and so it drains it. But the display on this thing is great. I know it's not a 4K display, but it looks really good. The colors seem accurate, and I know that's important for people that are going to be doing professional video and photo editing. It's actually one of the things my wife's looking at. She has this machine, and she is thinking about doing photography and things like that. So that should help her a lot in this screen if you turn off True Tone. Let me get rid of OBS again. I'm trying to think of some other things. Safari is Safari. Works very well. A lot of people hate on it, but it saves all my passwords from my iPhone, and that was very useful. You can see here I got a couple favorites, including my school stuff. YouTube, my YouTube channel. You should subscribe to this channel, FYI. You can see there some of the stuff that I watch and have been watching and the suggestions. But yeah, it's a pretty solid machine. The touch bar is a little annoying, and it seems really odd when I'm in a game and I have to hit escape and I'm hitting a little touch screen thing on the top of it. But ideally what they're looking to do is move to touch screen keyboards, period, on these things. You'll have basically, it's like a Nintendo DS type thing going on where you got a screen up top and a screen down below, and the screen down below can turn into any type of surface it needs to for input. I believe that's where the industry is going to head. It's slowly kind of getting there. You do see a couple of devices that are ahead of their times out there that are kind of offshoots, and they have two screens going on. But I think that's part of what this whole butterfly keyboard and stuff like that is preparing us for. There's very little travel time here, or travel distance here when you hit the keys, and then eventually there's not going to be any travel distance. It's going to be like typing on your iPad, which a lot of people are used to that don't have the keyboard attachment. So that's kind of my take on it. I get why the touch bar is there. It's starting to wean us into that direction, but it's still really annoying, especially since my volume I have to hit to open up the volume slider and then slide it. I can't just start hitting the volume down at the top of the keyboard like I can on a Windows computer. Now, and you can see here actually on the screen, there's that infamous video, can it game? But I mean, overall, it's a pretty solid computer. The keyboard doesn't bother me. I don't understand why people hate on it as much, other than, of course, the 2016, 2017 butterfly keyboards were notorious for getting dust in them and causing them to not be able to function properly. They fixed that with the membrane, of course, on this. And I mean, the feel is fine. It feels really good, especially after you type on it for couple weeks like I have. I don't have a complaint on the keyboard, and it does feel a little odd when you're playing games, like you're in Guild Wars 2 and you're moving forward and you're pushing that W, and you're like, am I really pushing the key? Am I going to stop walking at any moment here just because that travel distance wasn't there? But again, you can get used to that pretty easily. You can get used to the little tip taps too. I know that annoys some people, hearing the keys on it. I have a 17-inch MSI gaming laptop that's currently dead. I got to open it up and see why it's dead. But well, I know I have an idea why it's dead. But the keyboard on it is very quiet, even though it's similar to mechanical keys. It's a lot more travel distance than this, but it is what it is. The machine itself functions fine. The battery life on it's great. I would definitely suggest it if you're looking to get a new Mac. If you're looking to do internet browsing and stuff like that, don't spend $1,000 on a computer. get a cheap tablet, or just keep using your phone, or just keep using the computer you have if it's not dead. But if you need something that's going to produce video and photo editing, out finished products that are good and solid. If you need something that is going to have good battery life for your day to open up and do some word processing or spreadsheets or something like that, this thing kills it in that department. It is a little heavy, surprisingly, but it is also an aluminum body, and it's a very nice aluminum body at that. I've put a skin on mine that was terrible. I'm a little disappointed in it, and I wrote a really bad review on Amazon for it, but it is protecting this computer from scratches, so that I will be okay with. Just a side note, I do only have 2 subscribers. If you're watching this, please subscribe. Please help me out. I'm trying to get this channel up off the road and going. Videos are going to come. I know that it's been a little few and far between lately. I've been busy and stuff like that, but the videos are going to start flowing, and Mobile Legends is one video that's going to flow. That's on my iPad. I actually edit those videos on the iPad and post them straight from there. I have one that I'm about to do. It'll probably get posted before this video, but that was a little side note. Anyway, 2018 MacBook Pro. It's not a bad computer. The trackpad's actually, last note, the trackpad is awesome, except for the very short travel distance when you click it. I got used to the air click because the trackpad there has a very good solid click when you push on it. This is a very, very soft, less than the keys even, when you click on it, and sometimes you don't feel like you've actually clicked. That's the only complaint I have on it, but the size of it and the response of it is probably the best size and response I've had on a laptop for a trackpad, period. I love the trackpad. I just wish it was a little clickier. Anyway, if you like what you're seeing, hit subscribe, like the video, share it, and stay tuned for more content. And let me open up OBS. You guys have a good Saturday night.